She's actually asking about that cervical mucus. That's what people usually call show. Now, the cervix is actually the passage where the baby has to come through. I don't know if you understand. In some people, usually the first timer, the primary, the first pregnancy, that place is usually close. So there is always something that the place is very close, and at the back of it, that's where you see the mucus. I don't know if you understand. Now, once that thing is closed, you cannot even put one finger during the examination. So in that case, if you do the examination, you say it's a tip, because the tip of your finger can just touch it but cannot enter. But on the other side of it is this mucus that try to cover the opening. The moment the cervix starts opening, those things that was contained there will now flow out on its own. And that's why some people will tell you that they saw show. Once you start seeing that show, it means that the opening, the cervix is trying to open, and the content that was on the other side of the cervix can now flow away. Some people's own might be bloody, some might not be bloody, but it is usually on the first and second trimester. In fact, most time on the fourth trimester, you don't see the show again. Reason is because their cervix never close back. Sometimes the cervix can no longer close back. I don't know if you understand. So you now call it multiple os. Multiple os. That is the os of somebody who has had 3 or 4 deliveries. I'm not talking about the vagina, so that we don't go and say the vagina will no longer be the way it is. I'm talking about the cervix. Cervix is what you now see when you put your hand into the vagina. Most times, the cervix might not go back to their normal shape. It remains that open. Because it remains open, that woman can even see her show. In fact, the show will not accumulate to the point of seeing show. So if you come and say that the signs of labor is that person will see show, this show is common in first and second pregnancies. After that, the show might no longer be there, because the show is there. You are seeing it because the closed cervix has opened and it starts dripping down from there. I don't know if you understand. But what now happened when the cervix was never closed in the first place? So we don't any difference between them. But the point is that we must not confuse bloody show with bleeding. It's 2 different things. But tomorrow in here, now whether the cervical mucus, all of them is coming from the cervix. And that's why it's called cervical mucus. All of them is coming from the cervix, except that person don't have a discharge, which is different thing altogether.